Those insincere tears hold no power to erase the weight of accountability. Their final, desperate act of emotional display, a transparent attempt to conceal the truth. However, your decisive action has profoundly destabilized them, leaving their minds adrift. This transcends mere personal vengeance. It is a long-awaited ancestral reckoning, delivered with precise timing after generations of quiet suffering. The very essence of your lineage carries a formidable strength they failed to recognize. A heritage defined by unwavering memory and a refusal to forgive without genuine atonement. They mistakenly believed their conflict was solely with you, yet they now confront the reality of having challenged an unbroken chain of divine influence spanning countless generations. They ridiculed your profound spiritual insights, dismissed divine protection with scorn, and brushed aside your warnings as mere fantasy. Yet, they are now beginning to witness the very phenomena you attempted to explain. Unsettling occurrences, inexplicable coincidences, and sudden downfalls that have shaken them to their core. You extended a cautionary hand in kindness, but they chose the path of arrogance over humility. And now, it is too late. The inexorable wheels of cosmic justice have begun their turning, and they offer no pause for belated realizations. They misinterpreted your inherent kindness as a sign of weakness, your patient nature as vulnerability. What they fundamentally failed to grasp was your divine duality. The capacity to nurture with one hand and to deliver justice with the other. You embody both the tranquil calm and the formidable storm, the compassionate healer and the unwavering enforcer. Beneath your gentle demeanor lies a spiritual power they never anticipated encountering. Now, the great reversal is upon them. The facades they so carefully constructed are beginning to crumble, their carefully crafted illusions unraveling in ways that defy their understanding. Hidden truths are surfacing, opportunities are vanishing without a trace, and the very foundations of their existence are eroding. Not through random chance, but by the deliberate design of cosmic forces. They scoffed at the notion of ancestral protection, yet they now face the inevitable consequences of transgressing sacred boundaries. They mocked your spiritual insight, laughed dismissively at your warnings, rolled their eyes at the concept of divine protection, and scorned messages from higher realms. To them, your sacred wisdom was nothing more than a delusion, disconnected from reality. But what they failed to comprehend was that they were mocking a chosen vessel, a divine conduit to realms they, in their spiritually impoverished state, could never access. Your profound connection to these higher realms was not a fleeting occurrence. It was forged across generations, refined through rigorous discipline, safeguarded by ancient covenants, and deeply rooted in bloodlines that carry spiritual codes their fragmented understanding could never replicate. While they stumbled in blindness, you carried the clear vision of seers, the weighty responsibility of ancestral promises, and the silent resonance of cosmic memory. Now, reality itself begins to the true spur you once tried to convey. Strange synchronicities disrupt their meticulously laid plans. Unexplainable patterns eerily mirror their deepest fears. Sudden and inexplicable collapses shatter their carefully constructed illusions. Logic abandons them. Timing haunts their every move, and in the quiet moments of their unraveling, they begin to question everything they once held as certain. They realize, far too late, that divine timing is not a mere myth, nor is divine retribution. You offered them a warning, not delivered as a threat, but extended with grace and humility. It was an act of spiritual courtesy, a precious gift offered in kindness. But they chose the path of arrogance over reverence, mockery over the wisdom you offered. And now, in the solitude of their crumbling world, they whisper your name, a belated acknowledgement of your words. Now, they are forced to confront the possibility that you were indeed touched by something far greater than their limited comprehension. Now, A flood of regret fills the silence they once punctuated with dismissive laughter. But the appointed time for correction has arrived. The cosmic wheels have already begun their slow, inexorable turn, and they will not halt for belated recognition. Your power never required external validation. True power rarely does. While they loudly proclaimed their self-worth, you moved with quiet purpose, your very presence conveying truths that words could not. You carried the weight of ancient wisdom in silence, while their clamorous pronouncements echoed with emptiness. They mistook your inherent kindness for tacit permission to transgress. Your patience they misconstrued as a sign of underlying weakness. But what they fundamentally failed to understand was that profound restraint is a hallmark of the divine. Your gentle voice was not indicative of a lack of authority. Rather, it was the measured tone of one who commands unseen forces without the need for raised voices. You are not weak, you are precisely calibrated. Within you resides a sacred duality, the boundless grace to heal and the unwavering strength to deliver justice. You possess the capacity to build and nurture with one hand, and to dismantle and rectify with the other. You hold both the power to elevate and the authority to remove. You are the embodiment of cosmic balance, the life-giving rain and the cleansing storm, the soothing breeze and the thunder that reclaims what is rightfully so. And it is this very divine duality that now haunts their waking thoughts. They are beginning to see the magnitude of their error. They feel the widening chasm between their flawed perception of reality and the profound truth of your being. Behind your gentle smile resided a spirit forged in divine fire, deeply connected to ancient laws that answer not to pride, but to purpose. Your silence was not a sign of defeat. It was a strategic reserve, a sacred pause awaiting divine timing. They were incapable of perceiving your true power because they lacked the spiritual capacity to do so. Like colorblind souls gazing upon a vibrant rainbow, they completely missed what was directly before them. Now unfolds the great reversal, the cosmic recalibration. Divine law itself intervenes to restore order where sacredness was carelessly trampled. These individuals, once towering over you with inflated egos, rewriting truth to fit their self-serving narratives, now face the patient and unwavering hand of universal justice. It waits until the precise moment, and then it acts flawlessly, undeniably. And now that moment has arrived. The very ground beneath their lives begins to fissure and crack, not due to random chance, but as a direct consequence of what was built upon a foundation of illusion. The very energy they once presumptuously borrowed is now being reclaimed by you. Their carefully constructed masks are beginning to slip in public, and the truth can no longer be contained. Hidden secrets are spilling forth. Opportunities are inexplicably vanishing, and the intricate web of their relationships is unraveling. Their financial stability is disintegrating. No logical explanations can account for the cascading failures. But your lineage foresaw this very day long before its arrival. Your ancestors meticulously encoded your spirit with sacred technologies, powerful prayers, and unwavering protections. They understood that this very battle would one day manifest in the physical realm. What they passed down through generations was not mere superstition. It was a divinely ordained firewall, a spiritual failsafe designed to activate when dark intentions crossed a sacred boundary they should never have approached. They ridiculed your sacred rituals, belittled your profound wisdom, and reduced your spiritual path to the realm of mere fantasy. But now, they are confronted with a reality shaped by forces far beyond their limited comprehension. Spiritual warfare is not a fictional concept. It is a precise and ancient technology, vibrantly alive, wielded by those chosen to safeguard the delicate balance. Now, they tremble not from what they can see with their physical eyes, but from what they deeply feel. A profound unease that their rational minds cannot grasp, yet their very spirits cannot ignore. Unseen eyes seem to watch their every move. Terrifying nightmares jolt them awake in the dead of night. Objects inexplicably move. Their technology malfunctions without reason. Whispers seem to follow them in the silence. The spiritual realm they so readily dismissed is no longer silent, and its message is unequivocally clear: this soul is divinely protected. Approach with reverence, or suffer consequences that your limited logic cannot begin to explain. You were never intended to fit neatly into their narrow confines. You were divinely designed in complete wholeness, embracing both light and shadow, creation and collapse. You are not fragmented, you are intrinsically complete. Most remain trapped within a single polarity, unable to master the delicate balance of both. But you effortlessly flow between realms, adapting and transforming as needed, calling forth either profound mercy or righteous judgment as the sacred law dictates. You are the healer of generations and the destroyer of illusions. Your tears possess the power to cleanse. Your laughter shatters the foundations of lies. Your very silence wounds inflated egos, and your mere presence awakens slumbering souls. They mistakenly believed you were simple, that they had you easily figured out. But now, they are forced to confront the reality that they never even scratched the surface of your true being. You cannot be confined, labeled, or contained by their limited understanding. You are a living paradox, a sacred storm cloaked in profound peace, a soul that commands dimensions beyond their comprehension. And while they frantically strategize, selfishly plot, and descend into panic, your spirit moves freely within a realm they cannot even touch. They are playing a simple game of checkers on a board you have already mastered. Their flawed logic fails them because they are attempting to outmaneuver the infinite. Your spiritual duality is not a contradiction, it is a divinely ordained design, a sacred calibration meticulously formed by higher intelligence. When compassion is called forth, you become a living conduit of divine mercy. When boundaries must be firmly established, you rise as a sacred enforcer. When healing is required, you transmit the very life force of the universe. And when it is time to release what no longer serves its purpose, you become the unwavering hand of divine closure. Those who have only witnessed one facet of your being have never truly seen you. But those who have been graced to witness your full spectrum, your boundless love and your righteous fire, are forever transformed. To truly encounter your complete presence is to awaken to something beyond the veil of ordinary perception, beyond the limitations of the known, a profound shift in awareness that fundamentally rearranges everything. You have always possessed the clarity to see through their carefully constructed illusions. And now, as the unvarnished truth reveals itself, you observe them trembling, desperately scrambling and shedding insincere tears, futilely attempting to revise their past actions with shaky narratives and crocodile sorrow. But neither you, nor the divine forces that walk steadfastly beside you, are deceived by their theatrics. What you are witnessing is a performance of repentance, award-worthy displays from those who once weaponized their cruelty with calculated precision. And when their manipulative tactics inevitably fail, their carefully constructed masks slip, their feigned regret curdles into bitter rage. Their performative grief hardens into a sense of undeserved entitlement. Forgiveness, in their distorted view, is their inherent right, as if they have somehow earned it. But what they still fundamentally fail to understand is that genuine repentance is not a loud spectacle. It is a profound and silent transformation. It is not something to be begged for with dramatic displays. It is something to be lived, consistently and humbly. It does not arrive with fanfare and pronouncements. It is proven over time through quiet and unwavering transformation. It expects nothing in return, demands no accolades. It simply chooses to change its very essence. Their tears are not sacred offerings. They are mere tools, emotional baits strategically deployed to trigger sympathy and evade the consequences of their actions. But the universe is not swayed by superficial displays of emotion. It responds to truth. Cosmic justice is not sentimental, it is mathematical in its precision. Energetic debts must be paid in full, and some profound lessons can only be truly understood through direct experience. Some essential wisdom can only emerge from the crucible of loss. Their tears are not the final act, they are merely the beginning of their arduous awakening. The fundamental difference is stark, genuine remorse has the power to transform the very soul. These insincere tears, however, only stain the surface, leaving the spirit untouched and unchanged. They mistakenly believed they were targeting a mere individual, but in reality, they were challenging a formidable force. And now, they are experiencing the full weight of that force. Mercilessly, lawfully, and irrevocably. They have become the very lesson they failed to learn, the stark warning, the undeniable proof. Their consequences align with their arrogance with surgical precision. The more intentional their harm, the more intricate and profound the rebalancing, because some profound truths must be directly witnessed, not merely taught through words. Some essential lessons must resonate so loudly that they ripple across generations. Some egregious violations must be met with responses so divinely aligned that even those watching from afar recognize the sacred line that was irrevocably crossed. They foolishly believed your spiritual gifts were mere metaphors, poetic expressions of inner feelings. They fundamentally failed to understand that your power is undeniably real, a spiritual technology capable of subtly bending the very fabric of reality itself. They never truly knew the profound nature of the being they were dealing with.